All right. I think we're about ready. Let me just go ahead and re-ping everyone. Hello? Back.
Hey everyone, tell your friends we're
Yeah. Okay,
about to start here
playing.
at Cement Gardens.
Tell your friends, tell your family. We are getting this absolute sweat-inducing.
Stratos in the Twitch chat is here for Loba.
Mm-hmm. We are very happy to have new people here today. Why did my mouse just disappear? What the heck? It's fine. There is Lambert on the mound.
May have spotted some cheese.
There we go. Now I can see my mouse. I don't know why it just did that.
All right, folks, we are moments away from first pitch. Let us know in the chat. You think the Marlins or the Twins will win Game 3? Remember, the Marlins are up 2-0 in this best-of-5 series.
You go ahead and do odds, and I'll do evens as per usual.
As Stuart Sullivan steps up to the plate, and Amanda Hellerman on the hill, and I thought Stuart swung.
I thought he swung
ball
right
one.
As she, like, he was like swung right before she pitched. So
Sullivan takes for ball 2. Sullivan swings at a pitch just out of the zone. It's now a 2-1 count.
Of course, Hellerman's best feature is that hook.
You mentioned it in the pregame. Sullivan's average this season 468, but he looks at strike 3 there. So Hellerman with a K early. We get Jane Davis hitting second, 522 average this season, 6 home runs, 15 RBI, but there's a big wall in right field that'll probably keep the ball in the ballpark.
Yeah, and I don't see Hellerman pitching outside anytime soon.
Popped up and caught for out number 2. Got Chad Koppel behind the plate for the Twins making the catch there. Here's Zoe Mallory for the Marlins. Ground ball to first base side. Hellerman fields and throws it to first for out number 3. The Marlins go down 1-2-3, and the Twins are now coming to bat in the bottom of the first. Lance Lambert on the hill for the Marlins, as expected. 1.08 ERA during the season, 1.12 walks or hits per innings pitched. Here's Carlos Beltran, who fouls off the first pitch. 340 average in the regular season. No home runs, 2 runs batted in. This one just past second base. Hoskins goes back and makes the catch for out number 1. Now here's Marilyn McDonald. She's playing left field today to prevent balls from going down that left field alley. 522 average in the season, 3 home runs, 5 RBI. Here's the 1-1, and it's fouled back. 1-2 count now from McDonald. Fly ball to short right field. Phillips is under it. She jumps, and she can't make the play. McDonald's headed for second as the ball goes towards the wall, and she'll be in easily with the double. Matthew LaCruz preventing the ball from going into the espresso stand and potentially out of play.
Yep. We mentioned earlier that McDonald's had the most runs scored out of anyone else on the Twins team. So Alicia Blakely, now is her moment.
Blakely with a 400 average during the regular season. No home runs, 2 RBIs, but 6 doubles. Leading the team in doubles this season. And looks at the 0-2. It's strike 3 called. McDonald possibly going to third. Nope, we'll turn around to second. Here comes Tony Delvecchio. 286 average, 1 home run, 7 runs batted in. It's up for the left-handed hitters on the Twins to accumulate home runs playing here at Cement Gardens. Delvecchio, a right-handed hitter, does have 1. He's down 0-2 to Lance Lambert. Swings at the hook. Johnson and Lambert converge on the ball, and Lambert makes the catch for out number 3. So, 1 runner left on. As we move to the top of the second, it's 0-0.
Keisha Phillips now takes the bat in hand, looks at it, and prepares to bat as Hellerman looks her dead in the eye and throws a very high hook. Pops this one up. Running under it. Oh dear, it looks like a little bit of miscommunication, but it is recovered by Chad Koppel for out number 1. There's a little bit of miscommunication there defensively, but it should not be an issue. Both of these teams have pretty good defense. Lance Lambert, who's got 94 power, is now up. Hellerman trying to bait him with a more inside pitch than normal, but Lambert is waiting for that outside pitch, and he is going to absolutely smack one straight to the first baseman, who I assume is Alicia Blakely, out number 2. Now Travolta, a grounder to Worthington, picks that one up, easy throw to first, out number 3. So 3 up, 3 down for the Marlins. The Twins back up, and it's going to be Sarah Maxwell. Sarah Maxwell, the Barry Bonds clone for the Twins. You would think Barry Bonds, for any new viewers, you would think Barry Bonds would absolutely be raking in this game, but his power stat is only 86. No, 81, excuse me. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Now it is 1-2 on Sarah Maxwell. Low for ball 2. 2-2 now. That's what we in the business, or at least Mike Madness, likes to call the Chuck Willard count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Just a little bit low of a slow ball. Was able to fool Maxwell for Lance Lambert's second strikeout of the game. Now we got Raquel Cullen. Another low inside slow ball that she expected. Easy catch for Keisha Phillips, out number 2. And here comes Amanda Hellerman. Hellerman, if you want to know why she's so good at pitching, she is the Randy Johnson clone, which also means she has 61 power, but Dominic Hoskins is there to catch the little bloop into the infield for out number 3. So still no score after 2.
Here comes Matthew LaCruz to lead off the top of the third. Matthew LaCruz, 459 average. No home runs, 4 runs batted in during the regular season. Looks at the first pitch, high. And takes another pitch. That's in there for strike 1. Now here's the 1-1. And the bat has not left the shoulder. It's 2-1. And the 2-1 is swung at and missed for strike 2. Here's the 2-2, and ground ball to the first base side. Hellerman fields it and throws it to first in time for out number 1. Comes Dominic Hoskins, 412 hitter on the season. No home runs or RBIs. 1 double is his lone extra base hit. And this one's hit to short right center field, and Worthington's under it, makes the catch for out number 2. Here comes Ricky Johnson. 222 average, no home runs, 1 RBI.
Okay, I'm gonna try to make a hit, if that's okay.
Swings and misses at the first pitch. And that pitch from Hellerman is low for ball one. Here's the 1-1 to Johnson. This is high, ball two. Swing and a miss, strike two. So it's a 2-2 to Johnson, looking to dance around and distract Hellerman there. And he looks at ball three, so he's worked the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And here's the pitch, and it misses for ball four. So Ricky Johnson will get on first base and back to the top of the order with Stuart Sullivan. Speedster for the Marlins struck out his first time up. Well, and Ricky Johnson will make it to second base safely. Oh, he's going to third. Here's a throw, and he makes it. Whoa. Stole 2 bases there. He didn't have any stolen bases in the regular season.
That is some huge heads-up base running by Ricky Johnson, a relatively fast player. I think he has a 7-speed.
Round ball to third. Delvecchio fields and throws home. They've got Ricky caught between third and home. Sullivan's already at second base, and Johnson's tagged out. So we move now to the bottom of the third. No score.
Seemed to be a little bit of lag there, which caught Loba off guard. But that was some huge base running there. Almost looked like it was going to be a 1-0 game, but we are still scoreless.
Now Chad Koppel, the number 8 hitter for the Twins, is up. I mentioned in the pregame, wondering about the lineup construction for the Twins. It does seem that the 3 statistically worst hitters in their team in the regular season are at the bottom of the lineup. Kellerman, Koppel, and we haven't seen Worthington yet. He'll bat 9th. 1-2 count now to Koppel. Fouls that one off. And this one's hit towards Phillips, and she makes the catch for out number 1. Comes Twins second baseman Reese Worthington. Raid Pirates, a fan of Reese, says, "Go Reese, go."
Reese is not that bad of a football player. At the very least, he's got a good boot. Oftentimes the kicker when you play a pickup game.
I think Reese might be a better baseball player if he remembered which way to hold the bat. Always seems to get confused by that. And swinging him is strike 3. So, no runs scored through. Well, hold on. One more hitter. It's only 2 outs. Here's Beltran.
I know, Reese just gives that third out energy.
Why didn't I swing?
But you did.
You did, Carlos.
Buddy. Carlos, get your head in the game.
This one's hit out to right field. Mallory is under it, and she'll make the catch for out number 3. So, no runs or hits that inning for the Twins. 0-0. Here's Jane Davis.
Davis has 95 power, around the 80s in contact. She's the Ahmed Khan clone. So she means she's great on offense, not the greatest on defense, but her offense definitely makes up for it. That's why Loba has her in left. Hopefully did not do too much damage if ever the ball gets hit into left field. But knowing both of these players, I don't expect either one of them to pitch to the left-hand side of the field. But that is a single for Jane Davis, who's also got a 7 in speed. So, second hit for the Marlins, third hit all game for either team. Mallory, right in front of Koppel. Throw to first, got him. Davis is safe on second. Loba thinking about taunting Epstein yet again, but he's like, nah, not today. Comes Scarface, I mean Keisha Phillips. That one's fouled back. 0-1. Looking for a hit and run deal. He's going to foul that one to the right-hand side of the field. 0-2 to Keisha Phillips. What? Okay, yeah. You can see Loba visibly frustrated circling the spot in which the ball was hit. But that is a good grab by Beltran, who lobs it over to Reese Worthington. That is a double play. So the Twins out of a jam, quick, and back up to bat.
Marilyn McDonald steps up to bat.
Yeah, so when the ball looks like it goes forward by that like that, it says foul ball. It is supposed to be a ball that goes straight backwards.
Like straight backwards towards the supposed camera, I guess.
Yeah, but it seems to
It looks like it goes straight at the pitcher.
seems to look like it goes forward, yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird. Here we go, McDonald, who got a double her first time up. Lambert looking to absolutely fool her with a slow ball. Does exactly that. That's strikeout number 4 for Lance Lambert, who is out-pitching Amanda Hellerman. A sentence I did not expect to say in the year of our Lord, 2024.
Well, Lance Lambert's got that 100 slow ball. That's his best pitch.
And the offering, low ball 1, and the count is 1-0.
As a low slow ball, it's going to keep on going to famed low inside corner. That is ball 2. Blakely does not need to change position. She can just stay open as she grounds that one over to Keisha Phillips. Right there, though. Gonna just lob it over to Ricky Johnson, out number 2. Loba just gonna mess around. And now we got Tony Del Vecchio. Vec is famous for his 100 arm, so he's a good spot for either catcher or the outfield, or even third base, where Epstein has him right now.
You better not make Tony mad, Slick.
2 outs. He's ready now. The pitch.
A little bit more outside, a little bit more hittable, but yet still low for ball 3. Gonna keep on spamming that beautiful little slow ball. You notice that Loba rarely pitches the same spot every single time, but it looks like he was just like, that low and inside corner looks very nice. Keisha Phillips runs over, makes the catch, out number 3. We are still scoreless after 4.
Lance Lambert.
Today's game is brought to you by Nick's Pizza Parlor. If you show up at Nick's Pizza Parlor in your baseball uniform, you eat for free.
And belted.
Lambert hits one into right field, and Cullen cannot handle it. So Lambert, he's going to second. Here's the throw, and Worthington can't handle it, and looks like Lambert will get in safely onto the grate that acts as second base. So here comes Ezra Travolta with a runner on second. This one's hit out to right field, but it's stolen out of the air by Blakely. It didn't even make it to right field. What a play. So there's the first out, and now here's Matthew LaCruz.
Loba's had many chances here to get scores in running position, but the defense... Uh-oh. Hellerman?
Hellerman stopped that one and throws it to first for the out. So 2 away, and now here's Dominic Hoskins.
that next pizza parlor box has way not enough footprints on it. And by that I mean it has no footprints on it.
They have a runner on second.
Someone's got to score here.
Into the windup. She delivers. That's the ball. 1-1. She kicked. Pitch on the way.
Here's the 1-1 to Hoskins.
And the
Foul back.
foul ball. From the stretch, the delivery. Low and outside.
That's a heater outside. 2-2. Hellerman no for her heater and her hooks.
That's all, folks.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Left one on second. A
So-
scoreless tie.
No runs on 1 hit in the top of the 5th. Go to the bottom of the 5th.
Sarah Maxwell.
Here's Sarah Maxwell. Maxwell struck out her first time up.
Ball 1.
Mentioned earlier, Sarah Maxwell is the Barry Bonds clone.
Strike. 1-1.
Does have speed
The windup. The 1-1 pitch.
and
That was ball 2. And the count is 2.
good eye. Drew 2 walks in the regular season.
Swing. And it goes
2-1 is
foul.
fouled off. It's now 2-2 to Maxwell.
It sounds like Jibbo wants to sleep early today.
Right outside.
Oh! Fireball thrown, but it's out of the zone.
The delivery.
Ball.
It's going up the right field line, and it's
Oh, that one's up the right field line and just
That was
foul.
down the line enough that if it was like 1 or 2 pixels to the left, that would have been classified a double.
A blooper in foul territory. 3-2.
Just off the chalk.
Target goes up. A 3-2 pitch. Swung on. A bouncing ball.
Round ball, Lambert fields. He throws to first for the out.
First out. Throws it
One
over
away.
the goal. The
These
count
balls are
is
disposable. Ricky's just
Salty
throwing them
Cactus,
all
you
away.
are not behind, I don't think. It's bottom of the 5th, 1 out.
He's set.
Yeah, you said that because Jibbo said end in regulation.
That's a wish. That's not a...
Pitch on
That's
the
a
way.
that's
Play
a
by
that's
play.
a threat by Jibbo right there.
1 out. Target goes up. Fire.
Yeah, this game does
0-2 to
not-
Raquel Cullen.
Another one down.
And look at him as strike 3.
Colling just kind of stuck there in disbelief.
Amanda Hellerman.
Threat, of course, yes. If they
Here comes Amanda Hellerman.
if this game doesn't go into if this game goes into extras, the loser has to play Yoga Dogs until they reach 100.
Into the motion. Here's the pitch. Strike 2.
The non-threatening bottom third of the order for the Twins.
He's set. Fire.
Looking to prove us wrong here. Hellerman takes for ball 1. Here comes the 1-2 now to Hellerman.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing. Ground
Grounded
ball up the
foul.
baseline. He winds. The 1-2 pitch. That was the ball. 2 out. The windup. A 2-2.
Now here's the 2-2.
Swung on.
That pitch missed and fouled back. So Hellerman's doing a good job of staying in here.
From the windup, throws it. Foul.
And that one's fouled up and back behind home plate.
And the delivery. Ball 3. 3-2.
Looks at a pitch very close to the zone, but
He's set.
called a ball. So it's a full count now to Hellerman.
And the foul ball.
Grounded foul.
Into the windup. And the offering. The wing.
And this one's hit up the first base line and caught by Ricky Johnson for out number 3. So we go to the 6th inning, no score. Ricky Johnson will lead it off for the Marlins.
Coming up to the plate.
Johnson had a walk his first time up and did some very good base running, so I don't think the Twins want to see Johnson on first base or even second. They preferably like to see him in the bench. Johnson hits it to left field, but it is just barely scooped up into the glove of Carlos Beltran for out number 1. We got the ever so speedy Stuart Sullivan, who had a double his first time up.
And the delivery. Swing. Foul. 1 out. From the windup.
That was fouled behind. That's a ground ball. Let's see if Stewart makes it to first before Chad Copeland can throw it to first, and he makes it
On a sharp single.
The Twins immediately are in trouble. Because Stuart Sullivan's speed plus Loba's recklessness on the base path can spell a whole lot of trouble. Loba just checking on some stats real quick.
Looks like the first pause of the game. Guys have been working quick. Of course, no scoring.
I'd like to remind our fans this game is also brought to you by the Espresso booth right next to the right next to the stadium. Did you just wake up? Get some espresso. Why not? It's 8:27, but it's 7 a.m. somewhere. I think Epstein is taking a look at his lineup as well.
Possible defensive rearrangement here.
That's strike one, low and inside, as it always is. Koppel moves to shortstop. Probably for the best. Grounder. Out at second, out at first, double play. What a freaking fantastic defensive play. Clutch for the Twins. Both of these defenses are really, really good. So someone's probably going to have to mess up in order for one of these guys to score. But we reach the bottom half of the sixth. Lance Lambert pitching phenomenally with 5 strikeouts. Travolta makes the easy catch for out number 1. Reese Worthington up. It looks like we might be going to extra innings unless Reese Worthington can pull something out from thin air. It's all right. He's got it. He's got it the right way. We should be good. Lance Lambert absolutely having no faith in Reese Worthington, smokes it right down the middle. And Stuart Sullivan drops it in center field. Reese Worthington's going to stay on first, and that is a base hit for Reese Worthington, who's on first with 1 out. Carlos Beltran. Loba's going to try and bait Epstein into hitting a grounder to the right side, where that great wall is. A wall that you cannot hit over. It's weird that you can't hit over this wall, but yet you can sort of kind of hit over Tin Can Alley. Fouled behind him. 3 straight balls and finally a strike. That one's blooped over. Keisha Phillips is going to... Who's going to catch that one? No one's going to catch that one! And Stuart Sullivan, not a great arm, is going to field that. He's going to drop it over. Reese Worthington is coming home. And he's going back to third. And now there's going to be a little bit of trickery. Beltran is going to go to second. Matthew Cruz is going to play IQ and give the ball back to Lance. The Twins might be able to walk it off here. Should... Oh, it looks like they're going to steal home. What is happening? The throw! Home! It drops it at home!
It's out of play!
The Twins win! The Twins win Game 3 on a stolen base! They win! Reese Worthington steals home! Reese Worthington has stolen home! I can't believe it! Ah! This is crazy! Reese Worthington, out of nowhere, decides he's gonna steal home. Ezra Travolta thought silly and threw it to third. They threw it home and it looked like he was gonna be caught in a pickle, but Travolta dropped it at the last second. And with that, Epstein, the unfortunately named Epstein, no relation, we swear, takes Game 3 of the Humongous League Finals. What a game that was!
Final score, Twins 1, Marlins 0. And if you're wondering, when's Game 4? Coming up next.
Let's pause for station.
Do not go anywhere.
Let's pause for
Stay
station
right here. We will go to Dirt Yards.
Yep.
And go to Game 4.
Dirt Yards is a lot more chaotic of a field than Cement Gardens is in my book.
I would argue most chaotic.
Oh yeah. Dirt Yards, for those who don't know, has got a lot of bad hops. A lot of bad hops. So anything can happen here. Cement Garden's smooth. Smooth as butter. And the ball and the concrete, you know, is super hard. So if you hit one right into the ground, waboing, you can get an easy single if you're fast enough. But at Dirt Yards, the ball will go anywhere it pleases. Yes, final score of that game.
Anywhere.
Yeah, final score. Reese 1, Marlins 0. I love that. Great comment from Nate there. Yeah. Lance Lambert otherwise pitched a very phenomenal game. 5 strikeouts. Amanda only had 2. Still good pitching performances from both teams. Still good defensive performances from both teams. It has been mentioned in Visery's summary that he always does is that 2 of the best defenses in the league are in this game. The Marlins' 3rd lowest ERA and 5th lowest WHIP, whip, I guess is what they call it. Twins have the 4th lowest ERA and the 3rd lowest whip. And according to Visery, Loba and Epstein, this is a direct quote, were the only 2 coaches who almost exclusively shifted to right field and threw on the right side of the zone every single at-bat. Boy, did it work. So much so that there have been complaints about it being too powerful. Something tells me shifts are going to be banned next year.
Well, lineups are already being set. I expect the same pitchers, but maybe slightly different defensive alignment.
They have to make it a different defense. It's a completely different field. Loba saying, my team wanted to win at home. Yes, this is a best of 5. So Loba looking to put on a show for his hometown Dirt Yards Florida Marlins. Loba, of course, the Season 1 BBOL champion. Not only that, but also a BFLO champion. Also an RBBL champion. The first triple crown in competitive backyard sports.
Oh, the clip's already been made. Yes, Raid Pirate best of 5. So this is game 4 out of 5. The Marlins are up 2-1 in the series. And if it goes to game 5, again, don't go anywhere. We will have it right here tonight.
Pitching today is Lance Lambert.
The clip of the walk-off is already there.
It's already on YouTube Shorts, or is it already? Has it already?
It's been made. It's been made a Twitch clip.
Okay, cool.
But
so those are relatively fast to make.
That can be easily made into a YouTube short. As the game gets underway, follow us on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube and see more backyard sports action. Here's the 1-2 to Beltran, and called strike 3. So first out is a strikeout. Marilyn McDonald up to bat now for the Twins. He's playing second base today at Dirt Yards. Was moved to second base late in the game, in game 3. Was able to help turn the double play. Now it's a 1-2 to McDonald. And it's taken for ball 2. Now here's the 2-2. Grounded up the first base line. Lambert fields it, but no one's at first base. McDonald is safe. So Lambert and Johnson both went after the ball, and nobody covered first.
The stretch and the pitch. A blooper in
Here comes Alicia Blakely,
runner on first.
400 hitter in the regular season, no home runs, 2 RBI.
Ball one, 1-1.
Looks at that pitch for ball 1.
The 1-1 pitch. Low and inside, 2-1.
That pitch just barely misses. It's a 2-1 count now.
The swing. Tattoos that
And the 2-1 is hit. And Phillips
out of there.
catches it and throws to first. That's a double play. So
Quick throw to home plate.
1 hit for the Twins, but they can't do anything with it as the Marlins come to bat.
Now
Stuart Sullivan first to lead off
Stuart
for the Marlins against
steps up.
Amanda Hellerman. We know Hellerman's the primary pitcher for the Twins. 106 ERA, 107 WHIP
Foul
during the
ball.
season.
Ready now. Throws it. Ball one.
Sullivan with a
No
468 average, known for his speed at 7 stolen bases in the regular season.
Takes their stretch. Pitch on the way. Strike.
1-1 and waved at for strike 2.
She is ready. She delivers.
Here's the 1-2. And swing and a miss, strike 3.
He gave it a ride, but ran out of gas. Jane Davis steps up.
Jane Davis hits second for the Marlins. 522 average, 6 home runs, 15 runs batted in.
The ball. 1-0. Target goes up, and the offering. Swing. Line drive,
And this one's hit
and he grabs it.
to right center field. And the throw to first is in time.
There's
Oh,
a-
he scored that
Steps up.
8-3. You don't see that every day.
there's that Barry Bonds arm that Maxwell has.
Swung on.
Play to her advantage.
A bouncing ball.
Mallory hits one towards the third base side. She's on with the base
All
hit.
over it. Straight to first.
And the throw comes into first, and Mallory's going to go to second.
The throw to
As the
second.
ball gets away, she's now going to third as the throw comes into second. So she's going to make it to third.
Notice how she went like as soon as they saw her throw them throw it to first. Like she knew that that ball was gonna bounce somewhere else.
Mallory with some heads-up base running, and now here comes Keisha Phillips.
Runner on third.
Looking to drive in the run. Looks the first pitch. Ball 1. So 2 outs, runner on third.
2-0.
Phillips looks at another pitch that comes in low.
He is ready. And the offering.
Here's the 2-0.
Ball three.
And that one's high. It's possible Twins are looking to walk Phillips here.
And that's the fourth ball.
And unsure if that's intentional, but Phillips will take first base. Or, well, maybe we'll have a ghost runner.
Lance Lambert comes to the plate.
Those of you out there, that's a ghost runner.
The coach calls time.
Putting a guy on second base, an actual guy, that's not a ghost runner. There's an actual guy there.
Here's the windup and the offering. Ball one. The runner
So-
goes.
Phillips going to second, and
She's safe.
she'll advance on defensive indifference. So runners at second and third, 2 outs. 1-0 count here to Lambert.
Epstein choosing not to bet that take a bet on that Nan's Gambit.
And the count is 2-0. From the windup and the throw. Swing.
I think maybe you walk Phillips to try to have a force play, but
From the windup, the 2-1
that's taken away now by the stolen base.
bouncing ball. And
Weak hit ground ball. Del Vecchio throws to first in time, and
that'll do it in the
that'll be out number 3. So
first on.
1 hit also for the Marlins, but no runs as we go to the top of the second.
Next batter.
Once again, the Twins getting out of a jam in the bottom half of the first. Seems to be their theme here, getting out of jams. But here comes Tony Del Vecchio.
Ready now, and the throw.
Love pitch. Swinging a grounder.
A bouncing ball.
Lambert to Johnson, out number 1.
That'll send him back to the dugout. The throw
Gotta
to
throw it
home.
away. It's like a routine almost.
Sarah Maxwell steps up to bat.
Maxwell. With throwing it inside in this place, there's at least a spot in right field that they can hit it out.
One out.
So they want to be careful that some of these slow balls don't go too inside, too in the zone.
Here's the windup. He throws it.
Much like that one is right there.
A bouncing ball.
That one gets past Lambert, and that'll be a base hit for Maxwell, who will stay at first base. Or was that Blakely?
Raquel Cullen steps up to bat.
It's fine. 1 on, 1 out. Raquel Cullen. That's a strike.
Runner on
I'm gonna
first.
stay shifted to the right-hand side of the field.
And delivers.
Swing and miss, strike 2. The slow ball was a little bit too low there.
Into the motion.
And it's the 0-2 count. That one looks to be a bit inside, but Cullen swings anyway. Travolta picks it up, throw to second. Out, throw to first. Double play. The Marlins,
Ball to first.
once again, their defense shines here in the top of the second.
Here's the throw to second.
And we go to the bottom
Runner on
half
first.
with Travolta, LaCruz, Hoskins.
Marlins already with 2 double plays. 2 innings.
The first pitch to Travolta.
No out. Here's the motion.
Loba says, I want to hit it to left field.
High ball one.
Doesn't look like he's going to get that opportunity.
Target goes up. The pitch. Ball
Or
two.
maybe he will.
2-1.
2-1. Hellerman
From the windup, a 2-1
pitching
pitch.
exclusively hooks. That's a line drive into right field.
Ground ball up
Picked
the
up.
first baseline. And she goes after it. She's out of there.
Who picked up the ball? I could have sworn the second baseman did it, but
Come
I'm probably stupid. 1 out. Blakely picked
That's,
up the ball and rolled it to
Blakely.
first. Yeah, okay, good.
Blakely's playing first base.
Yeah.
It's
For a
foul.
second, I thought the second baseman picked it up and like started running to second. That was a
Here's the motion.
miscue on my part.
A
Now we got LaCruz gonna ground that one to Blakely.
ball.
Little bit of a
He's
bad
out
hop,
of
but
there.
she's gonna pick it up. Step on first. Out number 2.
Dominic Hoskins comes
Those are the types of hops you get on this field. The ball goes anywhere.
And those are the type of hops you want on a more hard hit ball.
She is ready. The pitch. The wing. And the
Fly ball.
foul ball.
Fouled. A little bit of trash talk here from Nate with Dominic Hoskins. That one's gonna be hit to left field. Picked up by Copel, throw to first.
The throw to first
Out
base.
in time.
There.
So
And
again, no
that's
score
Loba.
here in the first third
No
of the
score
game
for
as we
Twins
entered
so
the
far.
median portion of the game. Only 2 hits for Twins and only 1 hit for the Marlins.
Comes to the plate.
Here comes the number 7 hitter and the pitcher, Amanda Hellerman.
Strike one. No out.
194 hitter
He comes
in
center.
the regular season, no home runs, 2 RBI.
Target goes up.
Down quickly 0-2
Low and away.
and looks at ball 1.
From the windup.
That'll be a 1-2 to Hellerman,
Swing.
and it's grounded
And the count is 1-2.
foul.
Here's the motion and the offering. A swing.
And this one's hit up the first base line. Johnson fields it, takes 1 step, and he's on first base. Out number 1.
Chad Copel comes to the plate.
Chad Copel playing third base.
Takes the stretch. The delivery. Ball one.
He's up.
From the windup. Here's the pitch. Low and away. 1 out. Target goes up. And the delivery. Strike one.
And there's a strike.
He's ready.
Copel still has not swung. It's a 2-1 pitch.
And the count is
Swing and a miss, strike 2.
He winds the 2-2 pitch. High and outside. 3-2.
And the 2-2 is taken high. We've got a full count on Copel.
Swung on.
And this one's hit up the middle, and it'll get through.
Inside. Didn't quite make it. Tosses it over to second.
Sullivan throws it into the infield, so Copel's on first base now.
Reese
Here comes Game 3 hero Reese Worthington. If you're just joining us, Reese Worthington stole home to walk off Game 3 A 1-0 victory for the Twins, their home field of Cement Gardens.
And the pitch. That's the ball. Runner on
We're here at
first,
Dirt Yards,
one out.
top of the third.
He winds.
BLW and Alex on the call.
One. That was stupid. 1-1. He's ready now. The 1-1.
Here's a 1-1 to Worthington.
Foul ball.
Called back. Top of the third, 0-0. Runner on first.
Stretch.
One out.
Pitch.
Here's the 1-2. And
And another
in there for strike 3. No swing, but called strike 3. And Worthington
Carlos
take the
Beltran
seat.
is up.
Here comes Carlos Beltran. He struck out first time up. I believe also
Ready
looking.
now, and the offering.
2 backwards Ks on the board here. Lambert.
Into the motion and delivered. A swing. A bouncing
The
ball.
ground ball.
He
Hoskins will
puts it
field.
up.
He'll fire to second for the force, and that will do it for the top of the third.
One left on. A
Ricky
scoreless
Johnson
tie.
will lead it off in the bottom of the
Ricky
third
Johnson coming up to
for the
plate.
Marlins.
Okay.
Ricky Johnson in Game 3
Okay.
Into
earlier
the
tonight
fire.
stole second and third.
Nobody out.
Throwing a bit out here.
From the windup and delivered.
At once.
One
Just kept
run,
running.
and a foul, and the count is 0-2. The windup and the pitch. That was ball 1. 1-2. The windup. The 1-2 pitch.
Here's the 1-2 to Johnson. He'll hit it foul.
Slide.
We'll do it again.
Takes the stretch. The 1-2 pitch. Swing.
Weak hit ground ball in front of the plate. Delvecchio fields it, fires to first in time for out number 1.
Stuart Sullivan steps up.
Back to the top of the order for the Marlins. Here's Stuart Sullivan,
Takes their stretch and the pitch. Ball 1.
known for his speed. We all know that.
Into the motion and the pitch. Swung on.
Twins know that they'll be
Foul
looking
ball.
to
1 out.
hopefully keep him off the base paths.
Knowing this field, as soon as he's on the base path,
Strike.
it'll become a problem for the Twins pretty fast.
It gets pretty tough to fight back.
Down 1-2.
The swing.
Here's the pitch. It's a heater, and he'll foul it
And
back.
the count is 1-2. Takes their stretch. Cuts to the plate. Strike 3.
And swing and a miss, strike 3.
Do not underestimate the fastball.
Jane Davis steps up to bat.
Hellerman's got a 99 heater. Want no part of that.
And delivers. The swing. Ground ball.
Davis hits a ground ball up the first base line. Hellerman fields and throws to first in time.
That's it for the third inning.
So
A scoreless
no runs,
tie.
no hits for the Marlins that inning.
Marilyn McDonald.
Go to the top of the fourth. No
McDonald,
score.
the Derek Jeter clone, if I'm not mistaken, for the Twins.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hard.
Gonna line this one to Keisha Phillips. Speaking of Jeter, some good defensive moves by Keisha Phillips.
Blakely steps
Out number 1. Now we got Blakely.
Phillips has been playing good defense tonight in both games thus far.
As well as Ricky Johnson. Oh boy, we got a little bit of an issue here. Ricky Johnson trying to tag Miss Blakely, but instead decided to throw it to first and threw it just a little bit short of Lambert. And Blakely's on first with 1 out. And Tony Delvecchio is up to the batter's box. Gonna swing and foul it behind.
Looks like Delvecchio already shaved the beard he was growing in the field waiting for the action.
Stuart Sullivan's gonna try and field this pop-up. Seems like a couple of people over there. Mallory not just gonna let that one drop. Sullivan's gonna throw it to second, however. Get Blakely out at second. Out number 2. But Delvecchio is on first now for Sarah Maxwell. They can pitch inside all they want to in this game, but there is a spot in right field for the more powerful hitters to hit a home run. So
Ball one.
I would not be surprised if one of these two teams,
Here's the motion. The 1-1 pitch.
in hopes of having it hit the wall,
It's going up the right field
have it go
line,
over the
and
red
it
fence
goes
over there
foul.
behind the apartment building.
Into the windup. The 1-2 pitch.
One is going to be swung on and fouled behind everyone. The 1-2 count with 2 on. Delvecchio at first. That is ball number 2.
Runner on first.
And this is what we like to call, or at least Mike Madness likes to call, a Chuck Woolery count. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Fly ball right field. Zoe Mallory is going to run over, and she is going to drop the ball, but it will remain fair. Good defensive play, I guess, by Loba to keep it from going to the wall. There is
Raquel
2 on now with 2 out, and now we got Raquel Cullen.
He's ready now. And the pitch. Ball one.
A low and inside slow ball.
2 out.
Ball 1.
From the windup.
The slow ball seems to be Lance Lambert's favorite pitch, and with a 100 slow ball, I would probably be pitching nothing but that as well.
He winds, and the offering swings.
It's inside enough, it's hittable. Raquel Cullen swiped away by Lambert, and that is out number 3.
Scoreless
So the
game.
Marlins coming up now. Mallory, Phillips, Lambert.
Zoe Mallory.
Mallory had that triple, thanks to some great base running IQ.
From the stretch and the throw.
So Hellerman,
The wing.
that's pop fly. It's going to foul territory, so it might be catchable, and it is out number 1.
Makes a great
And we got
play.
Phillips.
He's out. Keisha Phillips, turn it back.
Baseball been very, very good to me.
Walked her first time up.
And the throw. The right
Low, but just barely enough in the zone. That Kleinke was fooled. We're going to have to update that guy.
the wing.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. Those hooks, those high hooks will really fool you as well. Keisha Phillips very quickly behind the count.
Into the motion, cuts to the plate,
Fastball, pop fly.
looped up.
Very deep. It's all up to Reese Worthington. Will he be able to catch this one? Yes, he will!
He's
Out number 2.
Lance Lambert steps up. Target goes up, and the delivery.
Looking for a little bit more of left field action.
From the windup, and the offering.
Hellerman's going to quickly go back to the other side
That's a foul.
of the field.
The count is 1-1.
1-1, 2 down. Lance Lambert, 94 power.
Takes her stretch. The 1-1 pitch.
Going with a high hook, and that's going to be ball 2.
Ready now. The delivery.
A little bit more of a low hook. That's going to be grounded towards Beltran. That's going to be swiped away by Hellerman and thrown to Blakely for out number 3. So once again, no score after 4.
Well, Hellerman's held the Marlins to no runs through all of Game 3 and so far 4 innings of Game 4. Great defensive play in the bottom of the 4th, and she's up the bat in the top of the 5th. Looks at a pitch there. It's 0-2. Here's the pitch. It's a ground ball towards Phillips. She fields, fires to first in time. Out number 1.
Chad Copel steps up to bat.
Comes Chad Copel. He had a hit first time up.
The stretch, throws it. The right. One
Looks
out.
at strike 1.
Takes the stretch, cuts to the plate. Swinging. A bouncing ball.
And here's a weak hit ground ball. Travolta fields it.
Throws it over to first.
Throws to first in time for out number 2.
A little bit of a taunt there. She waits for Copel to get closer to first base to throw it.
Here comes Game 3's hero, Reese Worthington. Hoping to help Twins yet again extend this series.
The swing. That's a foul. 2 out.
Fouls the first pitch back. It's
To the windup. Here's the pitch.
0-1 count now.
Ball 1. And the
Pitches outside.
into the
Worthington's
windup.
contact
Delivery.
is not the greatest at 26.
And a foul ball.
Makes contact there with but it's foul. So it's 1-2 now to Worthington.
A bouncing ball.
Ground ball.
Play for him. Tosses it over to
Lambert
first,
fields,
and
fires to
sends
first
it
in
back to the
time.
dugout. Over to second.
So it's a 1-2-3 inning.
Scoreless game so far.
And we move to the bottom of the fifth, 0-0.
Ezra Travolta steps up to bat.
Comes Ezra Travolta. Do we know if there's any relation to
And the
John?
delivery. The swing. Whoops. Slide. Nobody
Fouls
out.
off the first pitch.
I'm gonna ask John Travolta what his favorite field is in backyard. Hold on. Let this play.
And misses
Oh.
it.
Oh, off the back of Hellerman's head, but Delvecchio throws the first in time.
Hey, way to use your noggin, Hellerman.
Matthew LaCruz.
You can score that 1-2-3.
Take your stretch. Here's the pitch.
This defensive play brought to you by the letter B for baseball.
1 out. Ready now. And the offering.
Matthew LaCruz now at the plate for the Marlins.
And the count is 1-1.
Takes that pitch low. It's a 1-1 count.
The pitch. A swing. That's a foul.
Fouled back.
1-2.
Now 1-2.
She kicked. The 1-2 pitch. Low ball 2.
He'll take the heater. It's 2-2.
A 2-2 pitch. Swinging. Looped up.
And this one's hit out to right center field.
Didn't quite.
McDonald's going back. Oh, and it's caught!
Out. Dominic Hoskins.
Caught by Sarah Maxwell with the dive after McDonald
The windup and
bobbled
the
it.
delivery.
So now there's 2 outs. Here's Dominic Hoskins. Hoskins this season, 412 average.
Swung on. A bouncing
853
ball.
OPS, ground ball,
Throws it over to first.
third base side.
Out of there.
Beltran fields, fires to first, just barely in time. We go to the
Score this
6th.
one so far.
This seems familiar. 0-0.
Carlos Beltran is up.
We got Carlos Beltran. Not great with the contact. 0-2, 1 strikeout.
A swing.
He's gonna swing and ground it behind everyone.
Here's the motion.
Lambert gonna keep on using that slow ball. It's gonna be low for ball 1.
Into the windup. Here's
The pitch.
strike.
Strike 2.
Here's the motion. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on.
Swinging a ground ball in front of Travolta. Fair.
Gobbles it up.
Throw to
Gets
first. Out number
Out of
1.
there. Fires it over.
This might be my DoorDash driver. You take over for real quick.
Nice play.
All right, Keisha Phillips
McDonald comes to the plate.
running to the dugout. Not sure where she's going, but here comes Marilyn McDonald. Hopefully she gets back to her fielding position in time.
Sliced it. 1 out.
First pitch fouled back.
From the windup, throws it. A swing. Ground
McDonald hits
ball.
one, and it splits Zoe Mallory and
Ball, and he's
Keisha
got it.
Phillips. So Sullivan throws to Mallory, and the ball comes into LaCruz, and McDonald's in at second base.
Blakely steps up to bat.
Now runner on second for the Twins for Alicia Blakely.
Into the windup and delivered.
400 average this season,
They have a runner on second.
933 OPS,
Throws it. The wing.
and she drive in the run. It's a ground ball up the first base line.
And he goes
Johnson will field. He will make the tag this time for out number 2 as McDonald moves to third.
next batter, Tony Del Vecchio.
Now here comes the catcher, Tony Del Vecchio. He has a single today, 1 for 2.
Takes the stretch. He throws it. Swinging. Chopper to
And it's a
first.
ground ball towards third. Hoskins will field, fire to first,
That's it.
and it's in time for out number 3.
Really bad throw. Fires it to home plate.
So
Left one on third. A scoreless
Twins leave a
tie.
runner on third as the Marlins come to bat here in the bottom of the 6th.
Up to the plate.
Ricky Johnson will lead it off.
Okay, I'm gonna hit this one. Okay.
Here's the windup. The delivery. Strike. No
Johnson looks at the first pitch. It's high but called a strike,
Here's the pitch. The swing. And a foul ball.
and he fouls off the second pitch. It's now 0-2.
And delivered. Ball 1.
Looks high at another quite high hook from Hellerman. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Gave it his best shot.
Loba thinking,
Sorry.
not gonna get too much out of Johnson anyway, so he's gonna swing with that open stance. If I sound out of breath,
Steps up to bat.
it's because I had to run up 3 flights of stairs just so I could get my meal from Freddy's.
From the windup,
So sorry.
pitch.
Sullivan has been unable to get on base today. Ooh! And it doesn't look like he's going to be making the base paths anytime soon. Hellerman's already using the fireball. Gonna use another one! Strike 3! Woo! Absolutely amazing pitching from Hellerman. I hope she has some juice with her. Because here comes Jane Davis
Target goes up and delivers.
inside.
Ball 1.
Ball 1.
1-0. Into the motion and the throw.
This one's a little bit high. Ball 2.
And the count is 2-0. She kicks and delivers. Swinging. A bouncing ball down the middle. Tosses it over to first. Down.
Easy out, and we are going to extras here in Game 4.
One left on. A scoreless tie.
Woo. What a game.
Well, it's been a great game thus far.
Oh my goodness.
And we have more game. The top of the 7th. Here's Sarah Maxwell. Now, you said you had to retrieve your DoorDash order. It sounded like you were the one making the DoorDash.
Hey, I also dash, so like I get it.
Belted it. Gets under it.
Pop fly to center field. Sullivan is under it, and he'll make the catch for out number 1.
She's
Like,
out.
you don't understand. These Freddy fries, this fry sauce is to die for.
There's Raquel Cullen.
Anyth- I assume nothing crazy happened in the top half of the 6th.
Um,
Unless
nobody scored, so
Yeah.
That was ball 1. 1 out.
no, nothing crazy.
Into the motion. The 1-1 pitch.
Here's the 1-1 to Cullen, and this one's hit to right field. Mallory is under it, and she will make the catch for out number 2.
There's some good outfield defense by Loba.
With 2 fly balls to the outfield, and
Pitch on the way.
able to make the catch.
It fouled back.
First pitch to Hellerman's fouled back.
He set. And the offering.
Second pitch is taken for strike 2. Lower outside corner.
Fired. Ball 1.
And similar location, but
The stretch. The pitch.
just outside the zone is a 1-2 now.
And a nice
And
pitch. Say goodbye.
hit right to Lambert.
Out.
He'll make the
That's
catch.
for the inning.
We go to the
Now,
bottom
no score in this one
of
so
the
far.
7th. Zoe Mallory,
Steps up
the right
to bat.
fielder, will lead it off. She had the triple earlier today and
The windup. The pitch.
was not able to score.
Right. No
And if you look
strikeout.
closely at the statistics, so far the only hit of the ball game for the Marlins.
Foul ball. 0-2. The windup.
How's that one back?
That was
Here's the 0-2 and taken for a ball. So now it'll be a 1-2 to Mallory.
Ball 2. And the count is 2-2.
And it misses outside.
She is
Ball
back.
2.
The 2-2 pitch.
Here's the 2-2.
And
Ground ball
the
just
number
past McDonald, but she goes back and picks it up and throws to first for the out.
Keisha Phillips turn it back.
Here comes Keisha Phillips. She's 0 for 1 with a walk
And the throw. The swing. Foul
and was
ball.
able to steal second after getting on with the walk.
Here's the motion and the offering. Swing. Sliced it. 0-2. Here's the windup.
There's now the 0-2 to Phillips.
Ground
And ground ball to second. McDonald dives, throws to first in time.
And the throw to first. And that's an out. Lance Lambert steps up to bat.
Here comes Lance Lambert, pitcher.
Lambert's
0
got
for
good
2 at
power.
the plate today.
That was ball 1. 2 out. From the windup, the pitch. Strike. Into the motion.
Here's the 1-1 to Lambert.
A swing.
fouled
And the count is
down the first base line.
ready now. 1-2 pitch. Struck out.
And strike 3 called. Hellerman fools Lambert there. And we will move to the top of the 8th.
Scoreless game
Opal,
so
Worthington,
far, folks.
Beltran come up for the Twins.
Chad Copel steps up.
Copel's gonna lead things off. He had a single earlier today. Lambert stays on the mound after 78 pitches, which is ordinarily where the Little League coaches would be required by law to take him off the mound. I don't know what state these guys live in, but it must be different here.
He winds the 1-1 pitch.
A little bit outside, ball 2, 2-1.
Well, in the Backyard Baseball Online League,
2-1 pitch.
we allow these pitchers to
Sliced it.
use the 110% juice.
A very valued sponsor of the league, yes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fooled him with a very low slow ball. That'll be Lambert's 3rd strikeout of the game. And that'll bring up Game 3 hero Reese Worthington. Unfortunately unable to capitalize on the his heroics on the last game. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Good defense, though, today.
Playing a pretty good left field
And the throw.
here in Game 4.
Fouled behind everyone.
From the stretch, pitch on the way.
A little bit outside there, ball 1.
Here's the motion. The 1-1 pitch. Swinging.
Swing and a pop fly. Travolta is going to drop it. Throw to first. Got him in time.
Straight to home plate.
Barely.
No.
Thankfully, that good arm Travolta has was able to play in her favor. Now we got 2 outs
He comes
for
in
Carlos
with a
Beltran.
direct.
Strike 1.
Why didn't I swing?
2 outs. He is ready now. And the pitch. That was ball 1.
Ball 1.
1-1.
Staying with that slow ball,
From the stretch,
Lance
the
Lambert
1-1
is.
pitch.
Has done him wonderful favors. Ground ball right in front of Lambert. Throw to first. Eventually, there it is. 3 are gone. Now we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Travolta, La Cruz, and Hoskins.
Ezra Travolta comes to the plate.
Out of these 3 people, Travolta has the best chance of hitting it into the outfield.
Low ball 1, no out.
But she is 0 for 2 today. Hellerman pitching a lot better now than she did in Game 3.
1-1. She kicked, pitch on the
The
way.
1-1. Low.
Ball 2.
Ball 2.
The stretch, the 2-1 pitch.
That one's definitely hittable. Travolta's going to slap that one over right in front of Blakely. Easy catch. Out number 1.
Matthew LaCruz comes to the plate.
La Cruz.
The windup, throws it.
A shortstop. A grounder. Will this stay fair? No, it will not.
1 out. From the windup and delivers.
That's a high hook. Those high hooks are very hard. That's a
Chopper to third.
grounder over to Copel, who makes a very hard throw to first base for out number 2. Good defense there by Chad Copel. Copel. Cowpel?
Here's the
No.
windup, the delivery.
High ball 1. Those high hooks. They're trying to bait Loba with those high hooks. Here's another high hook.
Sliced it. 2 out.
1-1 to the 0-2
I believe
Dominic
it's
Hoskins.
Chad Capel.
Capel. Silly of me. Silly of me to forget.
From the stretch, he delivers. Swing.
A grounder from Hoskins. Not too fast. There is Del Vecchio or Hellerman. Both have 100 arms. And that'll do it in the 8th inning. We go to the 9th.
Scoreless tie.
Still 0-0.
Marilyn
Yeah.
McDonald steps up.
Merrill McDonald, 2 for 3. Digs in at the plate.
He comes center, throws it.
A 5.22 average in the regular season. 3 home runs, 5 RBI.
The stretch, here's the pitch. Swung on, sliced it.
Dials it back.
He
Go
throws
to
and the delivery.
out.
Low ball 1, 1-2.
We're in the top of the ninth,
He's ready now. The 1-2 pitch.
and no score yet.
Oh.
And she looks at strike 3. So Lambert, 4th strikeout,
Alicia Blakely steps up
and
to bat.
I believe all of them are looking.
Here's the windup. Fires.
He's been able to
Here comes
really...
Alicia Blake.
Sorry about that.
You mentioned the pitch count earlier. Lance Lambert,
The pitch.
he's approaching 100.
One and
He's
one.
still out there.
Target goes
Doesn't
up.
show any signs of stopping.
Low ball 2. 2-1.
No, he doesn't. It's a 2-1 count to Blakely, who's 1 for 3 today with a single.
Ball 3.
And she'll look at that pitch. It's now a 3-1 count,
Stretch. Pitch on the way. And there's ball 4.
and she'll take first base. Nate Tastic in the chat says only 19 more innings to go. Well, we had someone prophesize in Game 3 that it was going to end in regulation, and it did. So looks like
Looks like we're gonna be
Nate's
here for a
prophesizing
while.
another 28 inninger.
Runner on first.
Ooh.
1 out. He's ready
How's the
now.
game, online game, gone more than 20 innings?
28 is the
Tony don't
record in league play.
Okay.
The 1-1 pitch. Strike 2. And the count is 1 and 2.
And it's a 1-2 count now to Del Vecchio. Here's the pitch. That's grounded to first, and Johnson steps on first for the out. And throw to La Cruz, and he tags the runner for the double play. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Ricky Johnson will lead it off for the Marlins.
Okay, I'm gonna hit this one. Okay?
From the windup, fire. The wing. Foul ball.
Jimbo says the script says this one actually goes 29 innings.
From the stretch, he delivers. Swung on. Strike. 0 and 2.
A lot of controversy in the writers' room.
Brilliant script writing.
Stretch, he delivers. Ball 1.
And the 0-2 is taken for a ball.
The windup. Here's the pitch. Ball 2. And the count is
That's Hellerman's 88th pitch that misses for ball 2.
the pitch.
She's got a high pitch count as well.
Out.
And swing and a miss. Or, no, didn't swing. It's strike 3 called.
Stewart
That one just catches the corner.
The windup. He delivers. Ball 1. 1 and 0.
You know, there's no check swing in this game.
Mm-mm.
Stretch the pitch. Swing.
You either swing or you don't.
Strike 1. And the count is 1 and 1. She kicks the 1-1 pitch. A bouncing ball. In a
Ground ball.
And the throw to first.
Fielded by Hellerman, thrown to first in time.
Jane Davis steps up to bat.
Keeps Sullivan off the base paths, and here comes Jane Davis.
She kicks. She delivers. Swung on. A long.
Davis hits this one deep and
Basket. And it's an out.
easily caught by Sarah Maxwell.
9 innings over.
So,
A
through 9
tie.
innings, Twins 0, Marlins 0.
Sarah Maxwell.
Speaking of Maxwell, she comes up to the plate. 2 singles today.
Takes the stretch. Here's the pitch.
Strike 1. That half and half in the zone, half not. That's probably the most hittable pitch all game, but it's fouled behind everyone. 0-2.
He's ready now. And the offering. The swing.
Popped it right in front of Ezra. Ezra's gonna not dive. He's gonna just catch it. 1 out. Here's Raquel Cullen.
He comes center and delivers. The swing.
Swing and a liner.
Ground ball.
And it does not get past Keisha Phillips. She's just gonna
Tosses it over to
once
first.
again taunt a little bit
The throw to home.
and throw her out at first for 2 outs. Here comes Amanda Hellerman.
Steps up. Here's the windup and the throw.
Strike 1, a perfectly placed slow ball.
The windup and the throw. Low and away.
Low ball 1.
The stretch.
It has been said that Randy Johnson is a power hitter,
Going away. Two
which,
out.
as wrong as a statement that is, the 60-some power
The 2-1
is
pitch. The swing.
does make it able for Hellerman to hit it into the outfield. It's not as often
From
as
the
everyone
windup,
else.
here's the pitch. Swing.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. That is Lance's 5th strikeout today, and the Marlins have yet another shot
Halfway through the inning
at
now.
finally,
A
I say finally, ending this game and giving Loba his 2nd BBOL championship. Here comes Zoe Mallory.
Into the windup, pitch on the way. Swinging.
That's a little bit of a pop right in front of Tony. It might drop. It might not. Tony barely gets it for out number 1, but here comes Keisha Phillips.
Baseball been very, very good to me.
From the windup,
Hellerman.
to the plate.
Low.
One.
Strike 1.
1 out.
Using that fastball.
Takes the stretch. And
Loba's like,
delivers.
I want to hit it over that small fence.
1-1.
Hellerman does not seem to be giving in to the temptation of pitching inside to Keisha Phillips. It is 2-1.
She kicked the 2-1 pitch.
That one is deep into right field, and it's gonna go foul.
And it goes foul.
Barely down the line.
I guess I'm
That would have been an extra base hit, probably.
1 out.
2-2, 1 out. A bit of a scare for the Twins.
Swinging.
That one's gonna be grounded this time.
Bouncing ball. She's
Throw
all
to
over
first.
it. Tosses it over
Off
to
the
first.
bag, and Phillips is on first.
Lance Lambert steps up to bat.
Lambert is on now.
She is ready and delivered. That was
Keisha
ball
Phillips
1.
thinking about stealing, but she won't. Not now, at least.
Here's the motion and the throw.
A high hook. Phillips is going to try and steal. She'll make it to second base. And she's going to stay at second base. So, Lambert, all he has to do is hit one
Target goes up. The 1-1 pitch.
into the outfield, and this game might be over.
2-1. Here's the motion and
A pitch.
delivered.
A grounder.
A bouncing ball.
That one looks like it's going to go to the second baseman. Throw to first is in time.
And he's
Phillips is
out.
going to stay at third.
Ezra
We got
Travolta.
Ezra Travolta. 72-32.
Into
The pitch
fire.
from Hellerman.
Direct.
Strike 1.
Runner on third. 2 out.
Keisha Phillips at third base.
The stretch. Pitch on the way.
Fouled behind everyone.
Foul ball. 0-2. From the windup. Pitch on the way.
The 0-2 pitch.
Low ball.
Just a little outside, ball 1. Absolutely sweating.
The 1-2 pitch. That was
Ball 2. 2, 2, and 2. Runner at third.
Ready. The 2-2 pitch.
A grounder.
A bouncing
This
ball.
should be an easy play. It doesn't look like anyone's going to make it there in time. And Keisha Phillips is going to score. And with that, Florida Marlins win 1-0. Loba has done it once again. He is your Season 4 Humongous League champion, winning the series 3-1 over Epstein. It seemed that a little bit of a misstep from Alicia Blakely has cost the game for the Twins. An unfortunate way to go, but absolutely does not reflect the rest of the season for both of these teams. These guys have played tremendously well all season, so GG's to the both of them, of course. I think it's time we give the trophy to our man Loba here. Loba, this is number 2. Just adding to the list of trophies that he has here in his collection. Loba, you want to say anything to your adoring fans?
Where's Freak Show? Well, what's up? What a series.
Woo! Quite the
It
game.
didn't go into extra innings until that game, though,
Mhm.
which probably surprised everyone. Everyone expected the games to be more like this one and not like the first two.
Well, this game did take 11 innings.
Yeah.
Was there any point that you were worried about the stamina of Lance Lambert?
No, not until they nerf soul balls, which I think they'll do next year. So RIP to Lance's draft stock, but yeah,
Yeah,
he was
RIP
good
to
for me all season.
RIP to the shift probably as well.
That's Lance carrying me to an RBBL and BBOL championship. Goated pitcher.
You heard it here first, folks. Draft Lance Lambert before Loba does, and you might have a chance.
Loba, who would you say was the MVP from your team this season?
It's got to be Big Quiche. Gotta be.
Mm-hmm.
Cornerstone of the defense. Was really good on offense. It was Jane for a minute, but she had a really crappy second half. Very unreliable. Sold a few games. Keisha would never sell. Keisha scores that game-winning run. Couldn't ask for a better person to do it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Keisha's draft stock just keeps on getting higher and higher as the seasons roll on. There's definitely like more of a second rounder in the early days, but now, thanks to last year with Killer Bat and this year with you,
she's a top like 15 pick in this meta at least. We'll see what next season like.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to you, Loba. Hope you enjoy the keys to the Backyard Sports Center timeshare in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I don't know what's up there, but have fun.
Hey, it's good to be back.
Absolutely.
Good to finally be able to beat Amanda Hellerman.
That's
my nemesis.
Absolutely, yeah. Most of our nemesis, honestly. All of us who played in season 2. Looking at you.
Shout out to Epstein for discovering the funnel and allowing me to beat him with it. Hopefully get rid of it next season.
Oh boy.
Yeah, definitely shout out to Epstein. It was a great season for Epstein.
From what I heard, he wasn't even supposed to be in the Humongous League this year. I think he was last
He got like one win last season and then turned it around in a major way.
Towards the bottom of the standings last season, made it through enough of the gauntlet to get into the Humongous League, and second place in the Front Yard Division. Only coach to beat Freak Show this season, and made it to the final. So definitely well played. And for you though, I'm gonna go a little bit backwards here and ask you about Game 3. That was your first playoff loss this season.
Well, let me say real quick, for all those playing in the gauntlet right now, you see the importance of the gauntlet.
Oh yeah, you can definitely
you can end up in the Humongous League World Series.
Absolutely,
I've seen proof of that.
Definitely is it, but in Game 3, the stolen base, the steal of home from Reese Worthington. Or your thoughts on that play, and did that affect how you played in Game 4?
We did a little bit of trolling. I was trying to get him to only pitch left side, make a gentleman's agreement, but he thought he'd get wrecked, so we ended up not doing that. I did one troll play the entire game, put it right down the middle for Reese, and Reese made me pay. Although it is Stewart's fault, he was in spot. You can lead the horse to water, but you can't make him catch the ball.
Right.
Yeah, I put him in spot. I always put my guys in spot. Unless it's Ricky, he don't really need spot. He just needs to be anywhere near the ball. Same with Quiche.
Yeah, we got a question from the chat. Jibbo wants to know, which team was the best insect/bug team you faced?
Well, Jibbo is one of my favorite insects/bugs, generally. Probably the monsters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those pesky, crazy monsters, honestly.
Monsters that are definitely insects.
For certain.
I don't even know who played for the Monsters. I don't even know if that was a team this season, but yeah.
It was, but it was in the other division.
Yeah.
Oh. I would love to be
Did you
able
ever
to play
play-
Killer Bat for once. I've never played Killer Bat.
Wait, like in the league or ever?
I've never played him in the league ever.
Okay.
So we gotta set that up for next season. Make us division rivals.
That would
Police.
be a very stacked
And
division.
Buff power. Give him a fair chance.
See what happens for certain.
Well, as I shout out Epstein, I try to, push the base running meta, showing people that base running is the way to go. And Epstein got a little crazy with it. You saw my Ricky got a double steal. I think in one of the games, Stewart. I think it was like game 1 or 2. Stewart got a triple steal to score, and he ended up doing it to me with the Reese aggressive call. Love to see it. So I was happy to lose that game. That was a good one. And I deserved it, too, after I threw it right down the middle to him. Reese had to show me what's up. That's why he's an MVP caliber player. We learned that from the Winter Bowl in football.
All right, well, with that, I think the online season has finally come to a close. So big shout outs to Loba and Epstein, of course, Anju and CRK, KC and P. Sanchez, of course, the finalists for all 3 leagues. Be sure to keep an eye out for the Gauntlet. Of course, currently right now, they are in the region brackets. The top seeds are JTS, Little Waz, Tristan, Dr. Pecker, Ricky Ricardo, Trigga, Triz. Got some big names in as well, like DH34, and also got Tara Stark in there. And Fletcher has been making some names out here. B-Ball's also in there as well. A big-time football player, B-Ball is, making his first steps into the pond of baseball. But of course, as we saw, you mentioned earlier with Epstein, he made it far enough in the gauntlet to reach the Humongous League, and he has thus proven himself. So learn from you too. Might end up like Epstein, or he could end up like me, who was in the Humongous League last year, but now I'm going to be in the Junior League because I lost in the bracket. But this is not about me. We would like to thank everyone, of course, for another fantastic season of BBOL action. Shout outs to the admins, of course, for all of us here at the Backyard Sports Center, for Loba for hosting the stream, and DL for the co-commentary. This is Alex7456 signing off another fantastic BBOL season.